babies. It's that time again. Oh, yeah. We're nearing the finish line in more ways than one. Oh, yeah, baby. We love the multi-layers of language. Goodness gracious. And I have to say, one of the things I'm most excited about is discovering who God is in truth, as opposed to how he is portrayed in the Bible. Oh, yeah. I am loving that. Because I really feel like he is all about finding a company of people who will reflect him truly in the earth. Oh, yeah. Because we are restoring his good name. Because how can he be other than he is? Meaning loving, giving, forgiving, restoring, healing, teaching, comforting. How could he be anything but that? But when you read the Bible, you're like, some people are about to get killed. In fact, there's this book called Drunk with Blood. I highly recommend it. And it just goes through and describes story after story of God supposedly initiating killings, whether it's individuals or thousands. It's just, it's not a paradox, people. It's a contradiction. So it's just not true. I wouldn't call it lies, because I think when people wrote it, they believed it. Well, I guess you could call it lies, because when they were writing it, they were writing it to preserve their culture. And to preserve their culture, they embellished their past, so that God had to be portrayed as this relentless defender of his chosen people, which back in the day was mostly displayed by military conquest. And that's why we have today so much violence in the world and people thinking it's justified. No. It just shows how shallow your thinking and your moral character can be identified as. So holiness, Jesus, and forgiveness, and love, and caring for others, and sending his Spirit out into the world. That's what we're called to do, babies. Oh, yeah. These people at the gym yesterday, they were nice enough to introduced themselves to me in a very lovely way. A very uncommon thing at the gym, I gotta tell you. Especially for someone like me who's promoting diversity by wearing makeup and kind of flashy clothes to promote diversity in a world that is inundated with images of toxic masculinity and femininity. Yeah, baby. We'll get to that someday. I don't think we'll do it today, though. So it's really nice that they, I got the sense that they're basically saying, we appreciate what you're doing. We recognize you're promoting diversity in a place where it's really kind of risky, and we just think you're great, and we just wanted to introduce ourselves to you. And I just thought, now that's what I call living the life of God. Oh yeah. Loving, accepting, non-judgmental, and just changing the environment by acting within those value parameters. Oh yeah, baby. And then come to find out they're my neighbors. They live in the same apartment complex that I do. So, really sweet people. Just a little example of how we can change the world. Oh yeah, baby. And because Jesus is in a transcendent position and calls us to share in that position with him, then we know there's power in releasing his will, his mindset, his heart, his spirit across the world to abolish these false notions of honor that are destroying people's lives with murder, separating loved ones, totally uncalled for attacks and counterattacks. Yeah, baby. So to me, because that's like so obvious, then it helps to see what the Old Testament and some of the New Testament, because you've got promises of vengeance on Jesus's lips, which I don't think he said, as well as in the book of Revelation. So it's in the whole book. This idea of might makes right kind of a thing. And I think what we need to do is reestablish what true masculinity is and true femininity, and to get our cues not only from Jesus, but also from nature. If we study how masculinity is observed naturally in organic processes, then I think we can better understand how we should be acting in concert and balance with feminine qualities. But of course, we don't even know what those mean for the most part, because we're too programmed by our beliefs, how we grew up, where we grew up, how we were taught to judge and divide between ourselves and others, and and to reduce all those things down to gender characteristics that are arbitrary. So it's up to us to reflect in the world the true nature of God, because that's what we do, because that's who we are. Oh yeah.